Are you ready to unlock the secret to radiant and youthful skin? Look no further. PSH Nutrition is here with an exclusive offer that will leave you glowing from the inside out. Introducing their buy one get one free promotion. When you purchase their premium vitamin C serum, you'll receive a free bottle of their delicious collagen gummies. That's right, it's a double treat for your skin and your taste buds. PSH Nutrition's vitamin C serum is specifically formulated to brighten your complexion, reduce wrinkles, and promote a healthy, youthful glow. It's like a burst of sunshine for your skin. And with their collagen gummies, you'll nourish your skin from the inside. Collagen is the secret ingredient for firm, supple skin, and now you can enjoy it in a tasty, convenient gummy form. But wait, there is more. They take pride in their commitment to quality and your satisfaction. PSH Nutrition products are made with the highest standards and are backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee. So don't miss out on this incredible offer. Your skin deserves the best, and PSH Nutrition is here to deliver. It's time to embrace your natural beauty, and they're here to help you shine. Visit their website at pshnutrition.com or call their hotline now to order your vitamin C serum and get those collagen gummies for free. Hurry, this offer will not last. PSH Nutrition, where beauty meets health. Again, pshnutrition.com.
This is WWE superstar Drew McIntyre, and you're listening to the WWE Podcast.
The champ is the one that everybody wants, me.
Becky Lynch is going to WrestleMania. Claymore!
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. This is my idol. You're going to acknowledge me.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Week in Review. It's Sunday, October 1st, 2023. Yes, it's October. Here we go into the fall and then into the winter, and WrestleMania season is just a matter of months away as things start to take shape for the next event here at Fastlane in a big way, with LA Knight being the mystery replacement partner for AJ Styles that was hospitalized by the Bloodline. So LA Knight gets a massive push in his career, the biggest, inarguably of his career in WWE. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the match between Bayley and Charlotte. We're going to talk about the United States Championship match with Santos and Rey, which a lot of this, again, as always, guys, is covered by our SmackDown reviewer, Michael Ritter. And does a fantastic job, and plug to his show as well. He does a football show called Football Function if you want more of Michael Ritter in a non-wrestling capacity. But, we're going to get started with patrons, and a shout out to them. Shout out to all the patrons of the show, and shout out to our latest patron who joined us in the last couple of days, and Mohammed, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy all the ad-free content. And if you're new to Patreon and you don't get the Discord link, send me a message. I'll get you that Discord link, and a lot more fun stuff coming for those patrons as we move on in time. And I would like to invite you to join the Patreon side of things, because if you don't want the ads, they can just disappear with patreon.com/WWE podcast. And for as little as $1, $1, that's how much I value my show. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but that's what it is. At patreon.com/WWE podcast. You get all the stuff ad free. And if you go higher into the SmackDown tier and above, you have our exclusive After Dark show with Anthony DeMarco that drops every week. And I'd encourage you to check that out, and video as well. So not a bad deal over there at Patreon. And you can support us there and other places. But let's just dive into SmackDown, man. I think the biggest takeaway from SmackDown was, unsurprisingly, the last thing that we saw, which was LA Knight coming out to make the save for a John Cena, a very late arriving John Cena, as was the story anyway. And he made the save on John Cena's behalf before he was put through a table by Solo Sikoa. And massive pop for LA Knight, one that, continues his momentum. It feels like, as hot as LA Knight was, and he still is, the focus has been shifted a bit with The Rock's interruption, with John Cena returning. it's been a bit of a spotlight focus on other stars. Now, The Rock is gone for the time being. I expect him to show up post Survivor Series as we build to our match with Rumble, with him and Roman Reigns towards WrestleMania. And really, he, from what I understand, is slated to have a match not just against Roman, but maybe the event before at Elimination Chamber. And so we'll see how that plays out. But for the time being, LA Knight has now shifted back into the spotlight, and he's sharing it with, just in case you've forgotten, it's just objective truth, apparently, according to WWE, that he's sharing it with the greatest of all time, John Cena. I still don't like that. I really don't. That's, to me, it's disrespectful to everyone else that is in that top echelon. I mean, again, the greatest of all time is a subjective discussion and argument amongst fans. They decide. The company does not decide this. The fans do. And I don't remember being surveyed about who I think the greatest of all time is. They just decided he needed some kind of additional accolade, and that is the appointment by the company that he's the greatest of all time. Now, I'm not going to belabor this point. I talked about it a lot on my previous shows, but it continues to be said, and it continues to be just kind of bizarre that they've gone that far to say he's the greatest of all time. I would like to ask by what metric they're using. Like, what credentials are you using to come to this conclusion? Is it length of time? Is it impact in the business? You could make an argument for all the top guys and that have preceded John Cena, that they are the greatest of all time, which is, the thing is, everyone can make their arguments. There is no right answer, but for WWE to tell us this is essentially the only answer that they have decided, and therefore we must say he is kind of a slap in the face. It just is. I don't like that. That the WWE is muddling in things that fans talk about, that fans discuss. It's when you talk about something super subjective, you leave it the hell alone and let fans talk about it. But now all of a sudden he's being announced as this. It's part of his entrance. That's what makes it really tough to swallow, is the announcers are now announcing him as that. He's not a Hall of Famer. He's the greatest of all time, meaning he supersedes everyone in the Hall of Fame. I have a big problem with that. Now, John Cena is one of the greatest of all time. He is that's the key. The key words are one of, not the. Massive difference in meaning when you swap those words. He is one of the. I think that's a much more realistic way to introduce him. And anyway, I'll get off. I told you I wasn't going to go too far with this. But for LA Knight, this is a great shift back into the spotlight, sharing the ring with John Cena at Fastlane against Solo and Jimmy. And I will say this. Now, it is a PLE week. It feels like it's been months since we've had a PLE. But that's okay. I like that feeling once in a while, where most of the time I feel like it's every other week. It's nice to have a period in between PLEs that actually feels like it's been quite a while. So it's nice to feel that. Now, my point was going to be that for me, this is a match that LA Knight and John Cena win. And I'm not trying to, I guess, tip my my predictions for my show later this week, but I mean, it seems fairly conclusive that Cena and that LA Knight have to win. And the reason is not that John Cena needs it, but LA Knight needs it. Needs it to continue his momentum. Needs it to get to his match with Roman Reigns that they're, from what I understand, going to do before WrestleMania season. Which is, hey, it's smart if The Rock and Roman are the ones who are going to headline WrestleMania and that spot is clogged up with The Rock. Then you're going to have to get to LA Knight and Roman. You can't wait till after WrestleMania and do it then. So you have to do it beforehand if you want to kill two birds with one stone. And sure, it may not be on the platform a lot of us envisioned. It may not be the way a lot of people wanted this to happen, with LA Knight winning the Rumble, headlining with WrestleMania with Roman. He could still win the Rumble. It just would be against the World Heavyweight Champion. And, there's still also a chance that LA Knight wins this. Now, I'm getting a step or two ahead of myself. I realize that. We still got to get to Fastlane, and we still got to get to them winning and then Roman getting pissed and taking his frustrations out on Jimmy, and the bloodline fractures even more, and then LA Knight baits him into a championship match at Crown Jewel, and then there we go. That's possible. I think it's actually likely that LA Knight is the challenger for Roman Reigns, either at Crown Jewel or Survivor Series. Those shows in Saudi Arabia, they don't mess around with. That's a big money event. They have millions tied up in those events, and they bend to the will of the Saudis because money talks. And I know a lot of us out there are have bad taste in our mouth from that show, or from the Saudi Arabia deal, and a lot of other behind the scenes politics and all that kind of stuff. I understand, but if you want a moment that is just objectively great, is Titus World Slide. I mean, we got Titus World Slide from Saudi Arabia. So there is that. Okay. If you take nothing else from the Saudi Arabia events, take Titus World Slide. It will never fail to make you lose it, and at least bring a smile to your face at the very least. So again, I'm getting off the rails. I know that I'm going a few steps ahead, but I'm looking ahead because for many of us that are supporting LA Knight, waiting for his moment, we could have it very soon. And one step at a time, but this is a massive step in that direction, with him directly getting involved now in bloodline business, putting his hands on the bloodline. It's now it's now time, and I don't see any other challenger right now other than LA Knight. Now, Randy Orton is, as I've said for like 18 months, it's just insane. Randy Orton floating out there. I'm a broken record. We know that. So Randy Orton is obviously a wild card who could pop up an RKO out of nowhere, and the crowd, goes crazy. My estimation, then I'll get back to reality, is that LA Knight loses at Crown Jewel in a very precarious way, with Roman using Solo Sikoa again, and then Randy Orton returns at Saudi Arabia, or at the very latest at Survivor Series, to challenge Roman Reigns. But my guess is at Survivor, or at the Crown Jewel event in early November. So about a month is my guess as to when Randy Orton returns. All right. But back to the task at hand, back to reality. Let's talk about a little bit about SmackDown here. Let's talk about the Santos Escobar Rey Mysterio match that was a lot of fun. It's a match that didn't see any hanky-panky in terms of heel turns, which I know a lot of us were disappointed by, because some of us were waiting for that turn by Santos, and I understand why. It kind of would fit the bill a little bit, but this match was 21 minutes, and boy did it feel like that at times. Not that these two they executed the match poorly, but when you're used to 6-8 minute matches, especially the ones that preceded this, it can feel a bit daunting, but it was very, very entertaining and well executed. As expected, these two worked very well together. The finish of this was Rey breaking free from a phantom driver by Santos. He hit a 619, and he couldn't land a follow-up splash. Escobar attempted a phantom driver, but Rey reversed it and rolled him up for the victory. And we had Escobar look very disappointed after the match. Rey walked over to Escobar, offered to shake his hand, but they were both ambushed from behind by the Street Profits. And Lashley walked down to the ring with a smile on his face and said he knew they had it in them. And Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde ran down and got demolished hilariously by Bobby Lashley. And then security was preventing Dragon Lee from offering any assistance. Why? Was it because he's a member of Raw? Why? Why is, I got to look at the roster. And if Dragon Lee was prevented from offering any assistance, would the same security have chased him down the ramp? So it's less secure to go through the backstage area than it is to be out in the fans area and jump the barricade. It's just, it was weird. I liked what I've seen so far from Dragon Lee. I mean, every single luchador that comes into WWE post Rey Mysterio will always, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, work in the shadow of Rey Mysterio because of how big of an impact and how long Rey Mysterio's lasted and continues to last and continues to look like he's frozen in time at 25 years old. It's amazing. Rey Mysterio is just a freak of nature. And the point of this, though, for me to bring this up is not just to review it, but also the Bobby Lashley and Street Profits reunion of sorts or reinforcement of a faction. I like this. At the same time, as I mentioned over the last several weeks, we have so many heel factions in WWE. I mean, I guess tack on one more. I don't dislike the pairing, but I just I feel like we're overwhelmed with heel factions. And by definition, factions should be primarily heel because they'll always play the numbers game, but you can have successful babyface factions that can be a thing. I know LWO is one. I understand. But hey, this pairing with Bobby and the Street Profits, it took a turn to the dark side this week as the Street Profits got booed after they attacked Santos and Rey. And the fact that Bobby comes out and says, I knew you guys had it in you. Had what in you? I mean, what? Like the fact that they beat down two guys that they never really had any previous beef with, that just were exhausted after a 20-plus minute match and easily dispatched them. That's all it took to impress Bobby Lashley. That's all it took to change his mind. Really? I mean, Bobby Lashley, who's one of the most accomplished athletes in the world and one of the most freakish in the best way athletes in this world, a guy you would not want to see on the street at night if he were after you anyway. All that impresses him is to attack a couple of exhausted men from behind. Again, I like the pairing, but this is a little weird for me. However, they're now a group. Fine, great. It's sad that they won't be seemingly feuding with the Bloodline then. If they're a heel faction, very unlikely they'd feud with the heel faction. And we've already got a Judgment Day heel faction, right? You got the Bloodline. Now we've got Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. So, hey, this is just another one to add to the list. One that I like, and I'm curious to see what their ultimate goal is. I was hoping Lashley and Roman would get at it, but Roman Reigns, who just only continues to live on because of Paul Heyman saying his name every week. And by the way, Paul Heyman's back to speaking to his earpiece. So the epiphany that he had the last couple of weeks of actually speaking into where the microphone's located on his phone have gone away. I guess, he had amnesia and something maybe hit him in the head and he lost that piece of his memory. So he's back to speaking into his earpiece, which is just for me infinitely annoying, maybe because I'm a millennial and I grew up with technology, and when I see people just consistently do things wrong with them, I don't know, maybe it's built into my psyche, I don't know, but that's a very small point to the fact that we do have a overload of heel factions. And anyway, back to my point. Heel Bobby is one that is I guess interesting to me, but it's it's about building up the Street Profits, but building them up for who? I don't know where this is going. I don't. I'm trying to look down the list of opponents that they could work with, and I don't see a whole lot of glaring, obvious guys. But we'll see. Okay. let's talk about the other couple of matches here. This was Jimmy Uso and Carl Anderson who started things off, and this actually was very surprising. I mean, this may be, when you look back at Carl Anderson's WWE runs over the years, and I say runs plurally because Carl has and Luke Gallows as well have had some very weird runs in WWE with being let go and being brought back, and the Good Brothers, and then the Good Doctors. Remember then they played doctors? Remember that? Oh yeah. So they've been doing some weird stuff over the years and playing third or fourth fiddle to AJ Styles in his group and all that. But Jimmy Uso and Carl Anderson had a match, and this made sense. At least, you know what, this made sense because of Carl Anderson's allegiance and friendship to AJ Styles. So I actually was happy for Carl Anderson, who got the spotlight for probably the first and last time in his career, in WWE anyway. And he had a match with Jimmy Uso that lasted 2 minutes. So we're going to get to that match, the repercussions of that match, and Mia Yim, who just slaps Jimmy Uso down. He collapses to the floor. Ugh. We'll get to that and a little bit more right after this. Are you ready to unlock the secret to radiant and youthful skin? Look no further. PSH Nutrition is here with an exclusive offer that will leave you glowing from the inside out. Introducing their buy one get one free promotion. When you purchase their premium vitamin C serum, you'll receive a free bottle of their delicious collagen gummies. That's right, it's a double treat for your skin and your taste buds. PSH Nutrition's vitamin C serum is specifically formulated to brighten your complexion, reduce wrinkles, and promote a healthy, youthful glow. It's like a burst of sunshine for your skin. And with their collagen gummies, you'll nourish your skin from the inside. Collagen is the secret ingredient for firm, supple skin, and now you can enjoy it in a tasty, convenient gummy form. But wait, there is more. They take pride in their commitment to quality and your satisfaction. PSH Nutrition products are made with the highest standards and are backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee. So don't miss out on this incredible offer. Your skin deserves the best, and PSH Nutrition is here to deliver. It's time to embrace your natural beauty, and they're here to help you shine. Visit their website at pshnutrition.com or call their hotline now to order your vitamin C serum and get those collagen gummies for free. Hurry, this offer will not last. PSH Nutrition, where beauty meets health. Again, pshnutrition.com. All right, let's go. Let's talk a little bit more about this match with Jimmy and Carl Anderson. It was competitive but quick. Jimmy didn't do anything underhanded to win this, nor should he have. He hit a super kick and a splash, got the victory. And after the match, Uso celebrated before Anderson got to his feet, and they started brawling. Solo then got in the ring and put Anderson down with a Samoan spike. And then they walked towards the stage, and Michin walked by to check on them. And she slapped Uso to the ground and left him reeling. What? Okay. Now we're having men not just not be able to retaliate, but selling slaps like they've been shot. He didn't oversell it like Shawn Michaels HBK in 2005 at SummerSlam. Okay. But you got to be kidding me. I mean, there were worse things that were done to Jimmy Uso. I mean, Jimmy Uso has been super kicked before and not left his feet. And now he's supposed to sell a slap from Michin? This is, guys, I don't know how there's not more just disgust. No, I don't even know if outrage is the right word. Just disgust, disappointment, and just kind of cringy over how, again, this is bad enough that men can't retaliate because they're women. But now they're starting to sell things way beyond what they ever should. I mean, let's take a drink of reality here. I got the bottle. Let's open it and take a drink together, okay? First round's on me. Come on. I mean, this is getting insane. And I know it's not going to change because of the culture we live in, the PG era, the sponsorships that WWE holds that are very lucrative, and I don't blame them. And I understand all that. But you know what? Like, if we're not going to have the men retaliate because of the image it would portray on WWE's behalf, and all of a sudden WWE believes this or that about what men should be able to do to women, all that crap, which I totally disagree with. But if that's their concern, then don't even have the women work with the men at all. Nobody touches anybody, ever. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. The only time I would allow it is if you have a female manager, right? And she's a female manager only. And she maybe trips your foot, causes a distraction, and that's it. But I'm not asking men to sell in the ring now. I mean, come on. All right. Let's go. I know no one else, no one's talking about this in any of the emails I get and the voicemails. No one wants to touch this topic. But everyone knows, hey, I'm not being arrogant. It's just, I'm not the one coming up with the scenario, but everyone knows I'm right. Everyone knows I'm right. No one touches this. Everyone ignores these comments. Not that I don't think you guys are, maybe you just don't care. I'll go on the record of saying probably you guys just don't have the passion about this topic that I do. But it's being shoved in our face every week now and getting worse. And it's an insult. It's an insult to my intelligence as a fan. It's just kind of disgraceful if you're going to present the product as, well, it's supposed to be a simulated sport, but at the same time, the men can't retaliate. Well, why is that? Oh, because they're women. But the women can do whatever they want to the men. Now the men are selling for the women like they've been, shot with a cannon. Anyway, I got to get off this one. This one is just it's my Achilles heel, man. All right. Cameron Grimes and Austin Theory. Let's go with that. So another quick match, 3 minutes, with Austin Theory beating Cameron Grimes, and he hit a A-Town down for the victory. But Rey Mysterio, or rather not Rey Mysterio, that was the next segment. Austin Theory winning here with Cameron Grimes made sense. Austin Theory is on the rise again after his just abysmal post-Mania run. And he got a victory that kind of keeps him, kind of keeps the pace. Nothing extraordinary. They don't have any massive moves for him yet. Cameron Grimes, on the other hand, is relatively new to the main roster, and you would think that they would also want to get him some momentum, but I guess when you look at this matchup, it tells you where their priorities currently lie, and that is Austin Theory being elevated. And I do like, by the way, the Austin Theory and Grayson Waller pairing rather. They work well off each other. I like both of their styles when they work together. They're in the same, relatively same stage of their careers. I like it, and I hope that they eventually become tag champions. All right, let's continue here. We had the U.S. title match, which we already covered. Then we had Bayley versus Charlotte. And what I really liked about this match wasn't even the match itself, which was fine. It was the comments that Charlotte made at the beginning of the match saying, Bayley, what's happened to you? What's happened to you? You're playing second fiddle to a champion in your group. What's happened to you? I'm just like, yes, thank you. Shake Bayley awake is what we need to do. It feels like she's been in a coma since she started this group. And really nothing positive has come of this group. I can't name one positive thing. At the same time, it hasn't been a negative. It's just been kind of comatose. Just not great, not awful. Just no one cares about the group. They just don't. Dakota Kai has been a non-factor. She might as well, at this point, learn how to mime because that's what she's been relegated to. Iyo Sky is champion, yet she feels like she's not. And then you have Bayley, who is by far the biggest star of the group, and only up until recently has started actually getting TV matches. And it's just been like, what's happening? I don't know. I'm it's been generally a disappointment. With all those complaints, I actually feel like no one's been damaged. They've just been put to sleep. And I want them all to wake up. If that makes sense. It's a very weird feeling with this group. But this match ended with Charlotte getting the victory in 7 minutes. So not a particularly long match. but not super short by today's standards either. And after the match, Bayley got on the mic and said that she can't cut in line to get a title shot, and they would put an end to her tonight. Because Charlotte said that she would beat Bayley and then challenge Iyo at Fastlane for the women's championship. Damage Control surrounded the ring, but then Asuka ran down to make the save and then spoke in Japanese, and Bayley offered and accepted a triple threat match between Iyo, Charlotte, and Asuka at Fastlane. And Iyo looked confused and said that's not what she actually said. So, that's kind of a good way to use the Japanese language that, let's be honest, most of us don't understand that are watching. And Bayley pretending that she heard what she wanted to hear and then saying, yeah, that's what's happening. So now we have, not only a misinterpretation of the intent of Asuka's words, and now we also have this match probably being confirmed, even though that's not what Asuka meant. And I thought only Adam Pearce made things official. So there's like 3 things that are going on here that are not right and inconsistent. But the ultimate result, of course, is this match is going to happen, even if it doesn't logically make sense with everything else that they've said about how matches are made. But with Iyo, Charlotte, and Asuka at Fastlane, fine. That, no problem. But the weird thing is Asuka making the save for Charlotte. Why? Since when are Charlotte and Asuka, saving each other from beatdowns? I know they've had a tumultuous past, but Asuka really only recently turned heel a couple of months ago. What are we doing? I like Asuka as a heel. So when I saw Asuka show up, I was a little bit confused. When I saw him, like, wait, who's she here to save? I know that her and Iyo Sky had their matchup, but that wasn't exactly something super personal and blood feud worthy. I don't know, but it's just a way to get to this triple threat match, and Bayley's not involved. She's the one that made the match with no logic, of course, but she's the one that made it, and now she's not in it. Why wouldn't she have put herself in it? If she was going to purposefully misinterpret what Asuka said, why wouldn't she have just inserted herself into the match? Weird. Again, this isn't a complaint, just kind of like an obvious observation that needs to be said. But maybe Bayley is going to do something drastic at Fastlane, finally turn on Iyo. The group is dissolved, of which everyone in the world, we will hear a collective cheer. If you all open your windows, everyone's going to say hallelujah all at once. The group is done because it's not benefiting anyone at this point. That's my guess as to the reason why Bayley is not putting herself into this matchup when she could have. And then she's going to do something dastardly at Fastlane, you'd imagine. But it's also good to see Bayley and Charlotte in the ring together again. I don't want to overlook that point. It is nice to see these two back in the ring together. They pointed out, I think Michael Cole did, that it's been 3 years. So that's nice. Nice to hear that kind of stuff. And 3 years, if you remember, what was 3 years ago, guys? That lovely pandemic. So that's how long it's been. All right, let's continue. We got the ending here with Knight, as I said, and getting the big reaction to make the save was a nice touch. Again, I thought it was very effective. LA Knight is mega over right now, and they need to keep that momentum going. As I've said, it feels like he's lost a little bit of spotlight, but I think they got it back in short order on Friday night. All right, let's continue with, let's see what we have. Monday Night Raw. Let's talk about Raw as just a very quick recap. So we're looking into this coming Monday. We had, let's see, Cody opening up the show on Monday, if you remember, and he greeted younger fans as he always does. And then I think I vomited the first time. I think that was the first time I vomited. And then the second time is when he welcomed us to Raw. So that was number 2. And then he used the word brooch, and I was very taken back by that. And I thought to myself, wow, this is one smart dude. How does he know that word? That just blew my mind. So after that, though, he said that Jay coming to Raw means somebody will be drafted to SmackDown. And he didn't say it would be himself, by the way, but there's a very good chance it will be Cody going to SmackDown. Nothing confirmed, but there is a solid chance of that. And then we got the Judgment Day coming down, and Cody invited them into the ring. But then Jey Uso showed up and joined Cody in the ring, and that's when, things went south for J.D. McDonough, who walked out with chairs, and he opted to pull the trigger, which ended up getting Damian Priest to beat down, and that started the whole, a little bit more of a frustration with Damian and JD that he tried to make up for at the end of the show. But Bronson Reed and Otis happened. That was a 4-minute match with Bronson Reed beating Otis. We got Tommaso Ciampa versus Ludwig Kaiser. He beat Ludwig in 8 minutes. And this also is going to earn a championship match for Tommaso Ciampa for the Intercontinental Championship. I think, did they have the signing or the actual match on Monday? I'll have to look. But Tommaso Ciampa going for the IC title makes no sense other than just giving a new opponent, a fresh opponent for Gunther. I have no problem with that, but the fact that Gunther, or rather Tommaso Ciampa, all of a sudden has earned it by what? Beating Ludwig Kaiser? When's the last time Ludwig Kaiser won a match? Since when is one of his henchmen losing a match a big deal? But furthermore, Tommaso Ciampa has had no time for character development at all. There's almost no reaction for him when he comes out. And he's been so up and down. He's been back and forth with babyface and heel. People don't know what he is. His matches are one of the lowest rated on Raw. That's just by the numbers. That's just what it is. If you look by the minute by minute and who's watching, how many people are watching when, he has a match, it's not great. It makes zero sense for him to have this match. All of a sudden he's qualified to, whatever. Beyond that, there's zero chance that he wins. Let's just be honest. There's no chance in hell that Tommaso Ciampa wins. Now I'll probably eat my words, but if he does, I won't understand it. All right. We got Tegan Nox versus Natalya, and that Tegan Nox beat Natalya in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. A title shot was on the line for this one here against Becky. And then Seth Rollins comes out and basically gave Nakamura an ultimatum saying, this is your last chance. If you don't accept, I'm rescinding my offer. And Rollins, or rather Nakamura, finally did accept, and he stipulated his match for Fastlane, and that he wants a last man standing match. And we had another very fun interview with Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm really enjoying those. I'm not sick of them yet, although the problem when WWE finds a formula, they stick to it to the point where you get sick of them sticking to it because they beat it to death. So we'll see if that happens here with Shinsuke, but the fact that Shinsuke Nakamura is getting TV time and being as brilliant as he is, and being able to speak in his native tongue comfortably, not try to make it the English language, but also he's trying too hard to try to make it sound audible, and he doesn't feel natural. And so when he speaks in Japanese and he's able to we can use subtitles to decipher what he's saying, and his body language speaks for itself. It's a much better combination and formula. All right. Then we got the match of the night here, in my estimation. Dominic Mysterio and Dragon Lee for the North American Championship. And, so he is Raw, which really funny how Dragon Lee is, held back by security, but so many have come and gone to SmackDown and vice versa with no hesitation from security at all. They're just nobody even flinches. So I guess only when the story narrates it and demands it do we have security enforce the brand rules. See, it's very very cherry picking to do that. All right, so amazing match here. Really enjoyed it. Again, this got a whole "This is awesome" chant from the crowd. Dragon Lee did lose to Dominic in 10 minutes, which I really liked how Dom won. There was no cheating. He got the frog splash in the victory. I loved it. that was a hot crowd for this match, and the way Dom should have won was that way, especially from the previous Raw when Cody beat him in like 2 minutes. Much needed. All right. Nia Jax had a bad promo. So in other words, she had a regular night, and she, came out and she basically said that she's the baddest human in all of WWE, whatever the hell that means. I don't know. I know there's some Nia Jax fans out there, guys. I understand there's some of you that listen to this show, and God bless you. If you like Nia Jax, hey, good for you. Really. But I think the majority of us as fans, do not enjoy Nia Jax back. Now, it could be setting up for a Jade Cargill return, or debut rather, where she could be facing off against Nia, and could be facing off against Raquel, could be facing off against Rhea, could be facing off against Bianca Belair. I think Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill is on paper, from a visual standpoint, that's the key here. That's the qualifier. I want to make sure I say that, because some of you are like, well, how can that be? You don't think she could really perform at WrestleMania? I'm saying on paper, visually, Bianca Jade Cargill is a WrestleMania main event. If things are built up the right way, Jade Cargill excels, things, character development continue. If they're going to have a women's main event, that is one. Now, I'm not saying it should be higher on the card than Rock Roman. Let's be serious. But if you're going to do a women's main event for one of the nights, maybe night one, I mean, if things all fall into place, Jade Cargill. How about that? Again, visually and on paper. That's all I'm going by. All right. Let's see. Nia Jax and Zoe Stark had a match. Of course, Nia Jax beats Zoe Stark in less than 3 minutes. And they are building up Nia Jax as an unstoppable monster, which does make you think that they are setting up for a Jade Cargill debut to be the one to stop her. And it does seem like Jade Cargill is going to be debuting sooner than later. They keep putting out teasers, or Jade does, about the storm is coming, right? So maybe that's the whole tagline marketing line they go with is she's the storm. The storm is coming. Oh, I see the clouds. And maybe people start making references to that. It's possible. And so it just seems like they're not going to wait long to debut her. That's my impression, because they're not keeping this a secret. Like, they're putting this out in the open very much on WWE's own social media. This isn't just like hidden fan content. This is WWE themselves putting this out, with her arriving at the NXT Performance Center for the first time. The major announcement, the fact they signed her to a multi-year deal, not a, hey, 1 year, let's see how this goes, tells you they have a lot of faith in what they've seen. So I think that you're going to have a Jade Cargill debut in the next 1 to 2 months. So, all right, let's see here. We have Drew McIntyre coming out on Miz TV, and he got into a spat with the Miz as expected, and Miz said McIntyre had a lot of frustration and told him to take it out on Kofi Kingston during their match, and Miz told him it was a judgment-free zone for McIntyre to say what's on his mind, and he said he's nothing like the Miz, and who said that abandoning Jay was a very Miz move. And honestly, this whole deal, now I know that we had both Xavier and Kofi come out during this segment here with Miz TV and Drew, and they called him Big D, hee ha ha, because we're all 14 and find that funny. The Miz was trying to buddy up with McIntyre, but McIntyre told him like 4 times to shut up. And Kofi Kingston had a match with Drew McIntyre, which ended with McIntyre beating Kofi in 12 minutes because we had Ivar show up to ringside and beat up Xavier Woods, and that distracted Kofi, which allowed for a Claymore. And I said this on my show, and I'll continue to say it. I'm split on this because I have been advocating for, and a lot of you have too, Drew to turn heel. And now we're actually getting that slow evolution, and I'm complaining. I guess I'll take it because we're getting the end result that we want. How they're getting there, though, is very weird. And I emphasized this on my Raw review, and I still stand by it and feel this way. Why are we supposed to be angry with Drew? I know the answer is that every babyface is supposed to have a moral compass that always points in the direction of what the fans want. But logically, this makes no sense. Kofi Kingston has been a thorn in the side of Drew for a while. They've been having verbal altercations. It's not Drew's fault that Ivar came out. Did Ivar and Drew have a secret meeting? Very unlikely. Very unlikely that Drew orchestrated this distraction. Drew simply took advantage of Kofi's mistake. He didn't low blow Kofi behind the referee's back. He used his finish and beat Kofi clean. Kofi is the one to blame for all of his years of experience not realizing that, hey, I'm distracted. If I'm distracted against my opponent in the ring, I'm probably going to lose. That's on Kofi. And then we're supposed to feel like Drew is obligated to defend Kofi after he gets beat down after the match? Why? Also, what makes it worse is Drew not coming to the aid of Jey Uso. The previous week. The narrative is that, Drew only cares about victories. He's not doing the right thing. We even got that push by Michael Cole. Why is that the right thing? And what obligation does Drew have to help anybody? The answer is he doesn't. Drew does not. I know that, again, it's very simple-minded narrative that the babyface should always help somebody that's outnumbered. But really, should they? Should they help somebody that caused a lot of pain and heartache and was one of the main factors of them not gaining the Undisputed Championship from Roman Reigns? Really? Yeah, that sounds like an obligation to me. Drew turned his back and let things fall where they may. The idea that every babyface needs to be a white horse and a moral compass and swallow their pride and just put away any disagreements or any difficulties that they've had with that person before and help that person out is nonsense. And they keep shoving this into our faces that's why we should be frustrated with Drew. I agree with Drew. I wouldn't do that either. Screw you, bro. I'm not going to low blow you to win a match. I'm still going to do the straight up stand up guy thing and beat you clean. If you get distracted, that's on you. That ain't on me. I'm trying to win matches here because that's why we're supposed to believe you're here is to win. And if you get beat down by somebody else, another faction, you got other problems. Why am I here to police that? What obligation do I have? I have no obligation. That's the idea. But WWE won't say that. Of course, they're saying the complete opposite. That's the frustration I have. At the same time, the end result is Drew turns heel and has a lot of fun guys to work with. So there is that. Seth Rollins, namely, is one. Cody's another. Eventually, maybe LA Knight on the other side of the pond there, or the side of the, I guess not the pond, but the other brand. Yeah, there's a lot of fun you can have with a heel Drew, and we're slowly getting it. So ultimately, am I going to be sad that Drew turns heel, even if the way they get there is ridiculous? No, but I still don't agree with it, and I feel like it could be better. That's all. All right. Then we got the Undisputed Tag Team Championship match at the end of the show. Long match, 20 minutes here, and this ended with Damian and Finn getting the victory over Kevin and Sammy, and this led to, of course, a beatdown of Kevin and Sammy, but McDonough was the X factor here in saving the Judgment Day from further beatdown, and hey, Drew. Or rather, JD, I think, will be officially anointed into the Judgment Day at maybe on Raw, but more than likely, I would imagine that Damian will give JD a match to win, and if he wins that match, he will be an official member of the Judgment Day, something like that. But the Finn and JD and Damian dynamic is a fun one that I'd like to continue to explore because of the established friendship we are told about a lot with JD and Finn, and yet Damian, who's also in the group with Finn, tells Finn, hey, your boy needs to learn, get his nose out of our business. So like, where do Finn's loyalties lie? Ultimately, it's a fun story to be told. So, all right. I know I didn't get everything, guys, but if you want more detail, you can listen to my Raw review for that, or the SmackDown review for that side of things with Michael Ritter that was done earlier today. So busy week as we roll into a PLE week of the Fastlane this coming Saturday. A lot is going to take place this week with our Raw review, our weekend review, our SmackDown review, and of course our mailbag and a preview and prediction show for the PLE that'll be coming later this week. So a lot to get to. Guys, consider going ad-free at patreon.com/WWE podcast. And if you want the ad-free edition of everything, as well as exclusive shows of the After Dark side of things, very adult version with Anthony DeMarco, hit that up at patreon.com/WWE podcast. It's available to those on that SmackDown tier and above. So that'll do it for me tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. As always, take care, and I'll talk to you next time. Are you ready to unlock the secret to radiant and youthful skin? Look no further. PSH Nutrition is here with an exclusive offer that will leave you glowing from the inside out. Introducing their buy one, get one free promotion. When you purchase their premium vitamin C serum, you'll receive a free bottle of their delicious collagen gummies. That's right, it's a double treat for your skin and your taste buds. PSH Nutrition's vitamin C serum is specifically formulated to brighten your complexion, reduce wrinkles, and promote a healthy, youthful glow. It's like a burst of sunshine for your skin. And with their collagen gummies, you'll nourish your skin from the inside. Collagen is the secret ingredient for firm, supple skin, and now you can enjoy it in a tasty, convenient gummy form. But wait, there is more. They take pride in their commitment to quality and your satisfaction. PSH Nutrition products are made with the highest standards and are backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee. So don't miss out on this incredible offer. Your skin deserves the best, and PSH Nutrition is here to deliver. It's time to embrace your natural beauty, and they're here to help you shine. Visit their website at pshnutrition.com or call their hotline now to order your vitamin C serum and get those collagen gummies for free. Hurry, this offer will not last. PSH Nutrition, where beauty meets health. Again, pshnutrition.com.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.